What's up my fellow riders? Welcome back to N2G Moto, the vlog where two wheels meet adventure. Today, we've got something big, and by big, I mean the brand new BMW GS1300, the latest evolution of BMW's legendary adventure machine. This beast isn't just a refresh, it's a lighter, smarter, and more aggressive than ever, from high-tech rider aids to totally reworked chassis. The GS1300 is built to conquer anything you throw at it, be it the smooth tarmac or untamed terrain. So, gear up, grab your helmet, and let's dive into what makes the GS1300 a true king of the ADV world. Okay, first segment of the vlog, let's begin with the brand new engine of the GS1300. From its previous predecessor, which was the 1250, we'll have a review for the first engine, which is the GS1250, and it has a 1254cc amounting to 136 horsepower at 7,750 rpm. That has 143 newton meter of torque at a torque of 6,500 rpm. And then let's move next for the GS1300, which we have here, which has 1,300cc amounting to 145 horsepower at 7,750 rpm, and also 150 meter of torque at 6,500 rpm of newton meters of torque. So basically the new GS1300 has an additional 9 horsepower than the 1250. And then let's talk about the tank capacity of this GS1300, which is amounting to 19 liters and also 4 liters of reserve. It's quite enough for a standard version of the GS1300. However, the GSA version currently has a 30 liter tank capacity. But for the 19 for the standard version, it's quite enough that you won't go point to point gas stations just to refill. And then let's talk about the suspension. For the front suspension, the BMW Motorrad EVO Telelever with the flex element to decouple handlebar tilting and central shock absorber as well. And then for the rear suspension, which is a EVO Paralever with a cast aluminum single-sided swing arm, transversal connected to swing arm bearings, and also a central WAD spring strut. Adjustable spring preload, fully adjustable on the rear suspension. Also, it has a feature of the dynamic suspension adjustment, which is the DSA, optional electronic system that is dynamically adapts damping and spring rate based on riding condition, modes, and maneuver. And then for the front suspension travel is 190mm, 7.5 inches. And then for the rear suspension is 200mm, 7.9 inches. Steering head angle is 63.8 degrees. And then let's proceed with the height and width of the GS1300. So I'll have a picture here of how long and how tall the GS would be, and also its seat height. Okay, so for the height is 1,406mm at the top of the windshield, and then for the width is 1,000mm over the handguard, and then for the length is 2,212mm over the splash guard. For the seat height, it's 850mm. And for the tire size, for the front is 120 by 70 R19, and for the rear is 170 by 60 R17. So if you guys have noticed on the review that there is an Akrapovic exhaust tip, it's not part of the standard one, it's already an aftermarket. Okay, moving on, let's proceed with the features of the 1300. It has 4 different riding modes, which is Eco, Rain, Road, and Enduro. It also allows the rider to choose different modes in which kind of situation you'll be in. Maybe you'll tackle the light gravels or rainy season, or if the road is nice, you could just go for dynamic mode, in which it would make your throttle much more responsive and your riding would be more aggressive if you want, or if you're asking for the need for speed for this kind of adventure right now, it's super torquey, since I'm currently just using the road mode right now. And the purpose of the road mode is it just gives enough power that you need, and also the economy, the fuel economy as well. As you can see here on the video, I'm using road, and it's still quite punchy and it's still aggressive, and it accelerates fast. Imagine if you're gonna use the dynamic mode. And then let's go next to the brake, which is called the dynamic brake control, DBC. It reduces the need or the urge of you using the manual mode of braking. So it's basically an ABS. It's a smarter type of ABS, in which I'm currently using the rear brakes to test how effective it is, and you could really feel the resistance every time you step on it hard. And also it's already keyless as well, and then there is a hill start control, which makes starting on hills easier than the standard or the generic motorcycle ones. And then the engine drag torque control, it prevents the wheel hop every time you decelerate. And also it has a tire pressure monitor, which is TPM, heated grips, and also handguard with indicator lamps that shows the direction which would you like to turn left or right. And also electronically the windscreen is adjustable, and then it has a storage compartment charger on the rear and at the sides, and also 12-volt socket and the luggage rack on the rear. And then for optional riding assistance, which offers the functions such as cruise control, collision warning, and steering wheel warning as well. And I'm currently using the Suzuki SV650, which is lower cc than the 1300, and you could really feel the difference of a 1-liter bike, and the torque and the acceleration is way different. However, the heat itself, the 1300 is currently hot when you're stuck on the traffic, but if you're just moving along the way on the highway, the airflow is just continuous, you won't really feel the heat. And also the weight difference, as we can see, the GS is much more heavier. However, the weight distribution of the GS1300 is below you than above you, because it's a boxer engine. So basically the weight itself is planted on the ground than my SV. My SV is the V-twin, which is the center of gravity is more on the upper side than the lower one. And then for the handling, it has a steering damper, and at high speeds you won't really feel anything, and it has a wider handlebar, so you have more control over the motorcycle. And overall, the speed, the wind, it's manageable. However, you can still feel the vibration since it's a 2-cylinder and it's a boxer. But the vibration itself is just minimal. It won't be a burden or an issue on the long ride. The comfort itself, it's just you're sitting on a sofa. And the suspension is just perfect, since they've perfected the balance and the comfort of this motorcycle as well. And also it has a quick shifter. Okay, so let's proceed with the riding montage.
Hey, we're here today. Got some vibes. Let's light the way. Tune it up, the beats align. Press play. let's start the show. Echoes bounce in harmony. Let the soundtrack set you free. Future lane past shining bright. Every second feels so right. Ooh, feel the glow. Oh yeah, electric waves. Let 'em flow all night. Step by step, let it grow. Welcome in, let's start the show. Echoes bounce in harmony. Let the soundtrack set you free. Future lane